everyone. My name is Jason Fritsch, and I'm Vice President of Global Sales for the Cloud Provider segment here at Juniper Networks. And joining me today is Nitin Rao, who is Senior Vice President of Infrastructure at Cloudflare. Nitin, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, great to chat with you, Jason. And Juniper has been a terrific partner, so appreciate getting to speak with you.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. I'm excited. So Juniper, as you mentioned, Juniper and Cloudflare, we partnered together for a number of years, and I'm quite certain most folks joining us today know of Cloudflare and how you help ensure excellent, reliable access to global internet for businesses of all sizes around the world. You folks have built a global platform through the expansion of data centers that support the security and performance of the internet. But then could you tell us a little bit more about the scope and scale of Cloudflare's business and the network that powers it?
Sure. So it's been a real privilege to help grow the Cloudflare network with partners like Juniper. And there's a substantial portion of the internet that passes through Cloudflare every day. So more than 25 million internet properties run on Cloudflare's infrastructure. The global network spans more than 200 cities across 100 countries. And we stop about north of 50 billion cyber threats every day. And so it's been really exciting to see how we can not only protect infrastructure facing the internet, but increasingly protect corporate applications, protect the teams and remote workers accessing anything connected to the internet.
And what's been so impressive watching Cloudflare's incredible growth over the years has been the rate of that growth. Is there anything that you believe has fueled your unique growth in the last few years that differentiates you folks?
Well, one thing that I'm especially proud of is that we really represent the breadth of the internet. And so you could be a blogger on our free plan, a small and medium business paying us $200 a month, or you could be one of 17% of the Fortune 1000 companies that run their critical infrastructure on Cloudflare. And so I think seeing that breadth of the internet helps make the service better for everybody. In many ways, it's similar to a neighborhood watch, where shared threat intelligence helps ensure that every company, no matter where they are, is safer together.
Absolutely. And one thing that's impressed me in observing your business and how you engage your customers is how easy you make those individual customers, whether it's the smallest customer or the largest customer, engage you and onboard with you. There's no differentiation there. So then a lot of talk about how traffic patterns are changing on the internet in the last few years, the proliferation of devices and data, content, and how that impacts the network. Industries and workforces are moving to remote work, especially in the last year. Can you tell me a little bit about Cloudflare's view on these trends and the effect that they're having on the network?
Sure. So it's I haven't been to an office in at least a year, much like I'm guessing you and most people. And even so, we've for our own business onboarded hundreds of new employees, and like a lot of companies, we've had to rethink how you design corporate networks. And so we don't, for instance, give them VPN seats. Cloudflare employees, remote workers, contractors, instead actually connect to the Cloudflare network and to the nearest data center. And we use a zero trust model for how we secure our global infrastructure. We actually offered this to customers, and so they're the smallest and largest of companies use Cloudflare zero trust model to keep business going. And especially close to my heart is you're seeing a number of pharmaceutical companies able to do daily work connecting using Cloudflare's infrastructure.
Any observations about kind of the global market or emerging markets in terms of traffic patterns or increase in activity?
Yeah. So if you're a network engineer, April 2020 was a particularly interesting month, not only because we were each personally living through the change and uncertainty that was going on around the world, but also because for networks like Cloudflare, we added more traffic in 12 weeks than we did in the prior 12 months. But stress makes networks harder, makes networks stronger, and I think not only for Cloudflare, but really across the network engineering community, we ended up in many ways being stronger because of that. And so I'm grateful for how, as an industry, we came together to absorb the growth in traffic on the internet. So as one example, we had equipment landing in places like Brazil, in India, in Russia, and the internet was relying on us getting that equipment up and running. And so it was a privilege to help make that happen, and it really took a village. But it also, I think, forced companies to really rethink the way they design their networks. So upgrading a traditional VPN box in an office, that model goes only so far, and so you have to really rethink access, authentication, and a number of companies are forced to go faster with their digital transformation because of the last year.
Absolutely. I also think that the last year has just reminded everybody, whether you're in this industry or not, the importance and the relevance of that the network plays, and how critical it is to all connections and connecting everybody. So kudos to your ability, and for the last year as well. I spent a lot of time in logistics, just as you mentioned, supporting customers to get products and get components to where they needed to be as quickly as possible. It was as hard as ever. So I live that with you guys. So this week at our summit, we're talking a lot about Juniper's True North, which is experience first networking. And for our cloud provider customers, that's not just about hardware or delivering functions or features, but providing products and solutions that rapidly integrate into how you operate and how cloud providers operate their network, so that enable you to do what you do faster and better. What's your view on this in terms of how Cloudflare ensures a great end user experience for your customers?
So first, at the outset, I really appreciate that Juniper cares about experience-oriented networking. That's really important. There are a handful of companies that play an outsized role in keeping the internet safe, fast, reliable, and so it's really important that we cooperate to make sure the internet experience is as seamless as possible. I think there's an opportunity around reliability. So even something like route leaks really ought to be a thing of the past. And so it's been terrific seeing networks partnering with companies like Juniper and Cloudflare adopt technologies like standards like RPKI and do the work to help ensure we're safer together. But also it's been great to see really the democratization of where people write code. Once upon a time, even if you deployed code to the cloud, it typically ran in Ashburn or Miami or Sao Paulo. Increasingly, you should be able to write code and it should just run in the network in every corner of the world, be it Reykjavik or Mumbai, India. And so it's really great to see how the network is the computer, and more developers out of the gate should have access to the largest networks in the world, and that's only possible because of the various companies that cooperate behind the scenes to help make that so.
And it is nice. You mentioned it earlier, but Cloudflare does walk the walk in that aspect of just your business model that we talked about of just a network experience and a fast network and access to a great network should be something that's available to everybody. So you folks are certainly behind that, driving that as well. So then, could you tell us a little bit more about Juniper's role within Cloudflare's network, please?
So Juniper has been an important partner in building out the Cloudflare network from the earliest days in our journey, and we're grateful for the partnership. Cloudflare has infrastructure in north of 200 cities across 100 countries, and in many of those cities, we're spread across multiple interconnection points, and we have routing and switching hardware. This equipment both helps us transport the internet traffic we sit in front, but also secure the internet traffic we sit in front, and Juniper's a valued partner in that.
So you touched earlier about kind of the heroes of within your team of the network engineers, and that's changed a lot in the last couple of years. Where do you think network professionals need to go to grow their skills, or what's needed, and what does it mean to be a network engineer at Cloudflare?
Sure. I think you need to be perennially curious. And so for some network engineers at a company like Cloudflare, that means running a global network. For other folks, that might mean learning major hyperscale clouds like AWS or Azure or Google. But you have to certainly rethink your skill set. I think the way we approached problems like designing an MPLS, moving data from point A to point B, how you think about MPLS, how you think about WAN is going to change. And so it's important to keep adapting. And then finally, if you think of compute, storage, and network, the lines between those three will continue to blur. And so the more that network engineers and network architects aren't siloed from their colleagues designing servers, but actually can learn from each other. I think a world where servers are more like networking gear more have the transparency and control of servers is a good world for everybody.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that, and you folks are definitely on the leading edge of that as well. But we're seeing that across the cloud community as that direction is already in flight, certainly. So, what do you think is next for your industry? What's next for Cloudflare?
The thing, in many ways, it feels like companies like Cloudflare are collaboratively becoming, the operating system for the internet. And so I'm really excited about the developer who's starting off right now and has the resources of a big internet giant and can build tomorrow's great technology company from the ground up. I think you can rethink the way compute runs around the world. You can rethink storage. You can rethink databases. And so it's really a privilege to see a new generation of companies being born, and companies like Juniper and Cloudflare get the opportunity to assist behind the scenes, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, and by doing that, you're going to enable the empowerment of new business models as well around the world. So absolutely. Yep. So Nitin, I want to thank you so much for your time today. We certainly appreciate your insights, and I have to tell you, I've known you for a few years now, and we've negotiated some deals, and you're a smart and a tough negotiator. And I love being on this side of the table with you and collaborating with you. So thanks so much for your time and your insights.
It feels like everything we do, we really do not on behalf of our company, but on behalf of the internet. And so I'm grateful for partners that support us on our journey.
Yeah, thanks so much, and appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.